Hi there, a trap now in the modern Benoni fianchetto line, and it's called the vulnerable d6 pawn trap. And though it's a simple tactic, it has duped many GMs and highly rated players. So after d4 and knight f6, c4, black tries the Benoni and white plays d5, gaining space. e6 challenges the pawn on d5, which is defended by knight c3. After the exchange, e takes d5 and c takes d5. d6 is met by knight f3. Now both sides go for fianchetto lines, g6, g3, bishop g7 and bishop g2. Castles, castles, a6, black certainly wants to play b5, which will give him many attacking options. But that is thwarted by the move a4. So black develops knight bd7, and now a common retreat in this topical position, knight to d2. Well, this position has been reached thousands upon thousands of times, and it's solidly entrenched in opening theory. Black has many decent moves at his disposal, and some of the most common are rook e8 and rook b8. So we're looking at rook b8 with the immediate idea of supporting the b5 pawn push. Well, white will continue with knight c4 anyway, because that's such an important square for the knight in this variation, because not only does it target the pawn, the backward pawn on d6, but it's going to eventually support a thrust by the pawn, which will get to e4 and then eventually to e5. So that knight there is definitely extremely important. So black now must do something about the pawn, which is being attacked on d6. And black could certainly drop the knight back to e8 or queen e7. They'd both do the job of defending that pawn. But if black tries this move, knight b6, this is a move in fact being played many times by many top players, most notably Beliavsky and De Firmian, as well as many others. But this move, knight b6, is simply a mistake, a blunder, and it loses immediately. It does, as it were, guard the pawn on d6 with the queen, as well as offer a trade of knights. However, a simple tactic is at white's disposal. Knight takes on d6. And now if queen takes on d6, bishop to f4 is going to hit the queen. It's going to pick up the rook, and white will be an exchange and a pawn up. And if, instead of taking the knight on d6, black realizes his mistake and tries to play, say, bishop g4, then almost anything will win for white. h3 would win. Even bishop f4 would probably still be winning. But the most direct move would be a5 with a one position here for white. So this has been the vulnerable d6 pawn trap in the modern Benoni fianchetto line. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.